What we've been told right now by officers in their non-HS committee is that there has been a discovery of black mold. It's quite concerning. It can have an adverse health effect on people in the work area. So quite concerning that it's discovered and is indicative of this facility that has countless problems that we've talked about for some time. So extremely concerning. And then it's the impact on inmates there that cannot have visitation because now of the remediation work.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, there's no visitation allowed in there now because of this black mold. What do you think that will do to the environment inside the prison?
Our correctional staff in the entire province works in a different environment. So what you're going to do now is heighten tensions inside a facility where tensions are already high because of the structure of the facility, inadequate staffing at times, inability to provide proper care to inmates. So it heightens the tensions in this facility at a time where we certainly don't need it. Like visitation is one of the things, and I know some might say inmates are in here because they deserve, but we have inmates in here with mental health issues, that have had drug addiction issues, and we certainly hope they're going to return to society better than they went in. This is another piece that's been taken from them now, that they can have family visitation, and our correctional officers are part of that. So they're saying, well, that impacts the work environment, it impacts the overall health of themselves and those that are housed in this decrepit facility.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of tension, last night a guard was assaulted by an inmate while on the job. What can you tell us about what happened there?
We can't get into the particulars, but again, we can confirm there was an incident where one of our staff, again, was assaulted. This is a difficult workplace. We've talked about it before, and we believe the things that's happening over and over is leading to these tensions. And unfortunately, frontline workers, correctional staff in this incident, are at the front line. The people that are making decisions, whether it be in Confederation Building or elsewhere, don't feel the brunt of this. The people that work here feel the brunt of it. The people that are incarcerated here feel the brunt of it. And it's time, long overdue, that something be done to deal with this facility. Carolyn's been recommended going back to Decades of Darkness, report after report. Not far from here, in 2018, a commitment was made by 2 ministers that this facility was going to be replaced. Had they acted back then, we'd be standing in front of a new facility today, not talking about mold and the unsafe working conditions.
What kind of conversations is the union having with government about the urgency of replacing this prison?
We've had multiple conversations. We went to the length of actually writing an open letter to all politicians most recently, imploring them to deal with this facility. My fear is politicians don't see this as political points. They don't see it like building a school or a hospital, and yes, those facilities are needed. This facility has to be replaced. It may not get them political points, but what cost to the staff that works there, what cost to people that are inmates there, has to happen. Like, yeah, it mightn't score them political points, but it's the right thing to do. This should have been replaced decades ago, and here we are in 2023. We don't want promises. We need concrete action to replace this infrastructure so proper programming services can be developed in a safe environment.
And this mold, this is just the latest issue inside the prison. We've heard about rodents and inmates being bitten while in their beds. Inmates have told us that they've been traumatized in there. What are you hearing from guards about how they're feeling?
Our entire correction staff, because correction officers are a significant component, but we're hearing from all of our correction staff, stressed to the max. Officers that are sustaining not only physical, mental health injuries in this environment, and other staff that are being impacted. We routinely hear from our staff and basically begging somebody to do something about this facility before something much worse happens in here. So like I said, repeatedly hearing from our staff, repeatedly bring it up to politicians, and no firm commitment. Like I said, an open letter written recently to every politician in the province, so far one response. So that speaks volumes for what attention has been paid to the staff here. These are all human beings working in here. We talk about the rodents and infestation, but what's happening here is just Band-Aids. There's no concrete solutions being offered. Yes, there was one offered in 2018, the replacement of this facility. But here we are in 2023, still talking about it and still seeing the dire impact on people working here and people incarcerated there. Look, it's enough is enough. Somebody needs to do something about this place.
From a health and safety perspective for the guards being in these conditions, I mean, how many other workplaces do you see where the employees work in those kinds of conditions? You know, should they even be allowed to be working in there?
I don't know of a workplace in Newfoundland, Labrador that you could compare to this draconian institution. It's questionable. Even today, where there are some people, the work environment are in there, correctional staff, maintenance staff with maintenance operations do their best to maintain the facility in the current environment. I'm not sure how long it can go on, but again, it's clearly determined, report after report, that this should have been replaced. Acknowledged in 2018, it should have been replaced. And here we are still talking about it. So I believe it's an unsafe environment. Distressed, wondering what adverse effect that we don't know today, 5 years to 10 years time, people that are working in this facility or incarcerated, what adverse effect is it going to be because they worked or were incarcerated in this facility, and we may not know till down the road actually.
Jerry Earle, thank you so much for this.
Thank you for the opportunity.